What's crack-a-lack-a-lackin', my YouTube family? What is really going on right now? All right, let me tell you guys something. Today it is competition day, and I know that you guys haven't seen me since the Arnold, and the thing is, I decided to compete at the Cutler Classic this year. It is now March 31st, and this was not a show that I planned on doing at the beginning of the year. However, after talking to my friend Marlon, you guys know Marls, some of you that have watched previous videos would have seen Marls. If you guys see Marls, then anyway, Marls had convinced me to do this show because he was going to do this show. However, just with circumstances, Marls had to drop out, but I kept my prep. It was short notice, so I actually grinded for probably about 7 weeks. So very short prep. What I learned last year about my body is that I do need a longer prep. I need like at least 12 weeks. I did learn that, unless I'm already lean. If I'm already pretty lean, then I can roll with a 6-week prep and be decent. Like I'm better than decent. I'll be pretty good. But I wasn't lean when I started, so this prep has been a challenge. However, just like I always preach, you versus you, and I'll never stop preaching until the day I die. And so I challenged myself. I am late filming. We already had prejudge, and the reason I wanted to make this video is because I know that in previous shows, okay, this will be today is my 11th show, my 11th NPC show, and that's quite a bit since 2015 for some people. Some people it may just be a little bit, and I apologize for my directions. But anyway, I didn't place very well in this show. Like, I mean, obviously, you know, after for those that have competed, you know, after prejudging, you pretty much kind of have an idea of where you're going to place. And I did not place very well this show, and that's why I really wanted to make this video, was because all of the videos that I've made with me competing have all turned out to be like success stories, in a sense, meaning that like I've gotten first or second or third, or well, I did get fourth at the Veterans in San Diego, if you guys saw that video. But anyway, they've all been like me getting some sort of trophy for placing in the top 5, which, you know, is always a goal for most people, is to try to get first call outs and things of that sort. Well, today I did not. Well, at least according to prejudging. Now I'm headed to the show right now, and I'm gonna try to capture footage. If I do not, then I probably won't post this video. If I do capture some footage, then I will post this video. I'll piece something together. I did my sponsor, Live Well Nutrition, one of my sponsors. As you guys also know, I am a sponsored athlete through Military Muscle. But one of my sponsors, the CEO, Coy, my brother Coy, had got some footage for me, just a couple small videos, and I'll probably slip those in here. I'm
walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for me. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
And it was just on Prejudge. So you guys will get a chance to kind of see a little bit of my routine. And just me up there with some of the other guys. Like I said, it's really a short amount of footage. But anyway, I probably won't get any footage in the afternoon or for the evening show because I'll be in back. And then because I'm not sure if Coy's coming back for the evening show, I don't have anybody to film like me on stage and things of that sort. But I will catch you guys up on what happened and how I felt. Like I really want to make sure that I explain, I don't know if I should say explain, what's better words. I want to make sure I express to you guys the feeling, because the one thing, for those that have never competed, I want to make sure that you guys go into it with the understanding of there's times that you may not place in the top 5. There's times that you may place last. And how you respond to that is up to you. You know, you can look at it as a challenge, which for me, every show's a challenge. If I don't get first place, then it's a huge challenge. If I'm fortunate enough to be called and earn first place, then I am going to be still pretty motivated to do better the next show. Because just because you get first place in one show doesn't mean that you're going to get first in the next show. So, but anyway, I want to express to you guys how I'm feeling and give you guys the feedback of what it's like to not place in that top 5. You know, hopefully, like I said, I'll be able to capture more footage, not of the actual show, but just footage talking to people. We'll see if I can capture that. So I'm headed to the Palms. This is Jay Cutler's show, so you may even see Mr. Jay Cutler. I may have a picture with him if I see him or whatever. If that's the case, then I'll post that too. But just know this: if you take anything from this video, that be thankful, man. Be thankful, be blessed, and know that as a competitor, not everybody can do this. You know, if this was something that was easy for people to do, then everyone would probably do it. This is really grinding it out. It's not the healthiest way of living because of the manipulations that you can really do to your body. You can really affect your metabolism long term. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was doing 4 or 5 shows a year, long term, you could possibly, and I'm not a doctor, but you could possibly damage your metabolism if you're constantly like carb depleting and carb loading and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? So for those that don't compete, it's, you know, it's better to just find yourself a sensible diet. Like, to me, there's nothing wrong with carb cycling every once in a while, but don't do it all the time. You know, do what's best for you. You know, try to avoid like the fad diets and things of that sort. And just keep in mind that there's no quick fix. You know, it's something that some people, everybody's different. So some people, it may take years. It may take you 2 years to lose 15 pounds, some people. I mean, you would think it would be faster than that. But I just don't want people to have the fast food America mindset where you expect to lose 30 pounds in 2 weeks and things of that sort. Because trust me, there's people out there that believe that. And if you're gonna, like, without taking any sort of enhancements, I'm saying like naturally, you know, I'm a natural competitor, so you know, it takes me a longer time to grow and lose and things of that sort. Now, there's some manipulation with water and sodium, not a whole lot, small amounts. I have taken diuretic before, but I've learned that I don't really need it. Like, I can do a show without it and still come in pretty good, like very close to the same. So you got to find your niche and go with it, you know, from there. So, but we'll see. All right, I'm gonna go, and I will catch you guys in the next video. I hope everyone's having a blessed Saturday, and be thankful, smile, be blessed, and I'll catch you guys in the next clip. Peace. What's going on, my YouTube family? I recently competed a few weeks ago at the Cutler Classic, and I was very thankful for the opportunity. It was a great show, a great turnout. I got a chance to meet some really good people, and I got a chance to compete against some really good competition. I'm very, very blessed and very thankful always to be able to compete. But the reason I made this video is because this particular time on this journey and on my prep, this was a little bit different feelings and emotions, a different type of roller coaster ride this time. Typically in the past, you know, my preps have been really focused and really grinding, and this time was a little different. And I wanted to make this video because for those that do compete, and for even those that don't compete, but maybe they're thinking about it, and you know, the things that I went through, maybe someone can relate to, even if you are never going to compete. Okay, I don't want to narrow down the focus of the video on just people that compete, because I really didn't post much about it, and it wasn't that I wasn't proud. I ended up placing 3rd in Masters, and I ended up placing 5th in Open. Excuse me, 3rd in Open, 5th in Masters, and you know, I wasn't disappointed in placement. I was actually surprised that I placed at all. However, this is the first show that I was very disappointed in myself. Remember, I always talk about you versus you and competing against you, and I talk about what's on my band here, you know, fueled by doubt and battling self-doubt. Well, this show, I didn't go into this show with self-doubt. However, there was times where doubt creeped in to my progress, and I let it win. There was times where I didn't. Okay, this is one thing on previous preps that I've done is I've been really focused, and I've been really locked in and fully engaged in the process, the complete process. This time, I mean, I ate all my food. I did all my workouts. You know, I did my fasted cardio in the morning. I did my weight training, my cardio after. I did the process in itself was the same. However, the little details, and this is probably the difference between someone who competes as opposed to someone that is just getting in shape for a lifestyle or changing their life to really evolve around like fitness and healthy eating and healthy living. Is the small details, meaning like tracking macros, really paying attention to the numbers and making adjustments from there. And those are things that I've done in the past. This particular time, I did not do that. I did not track one thing. I did do carb cycling like I've done in the past. However, when you carb cycle, you know your numbers. So maybe your target range for your high carb days are 600 grams. Maybe your target numbers for your low carb days is maybe 50 grams. I was eyeballing everything, thinking that I had this thing down pack. And I didn't. You know, I think I went in overconfident that I could do it without paying attention to the little details. And then I also did not give myself enough time to prep for the show. I prepped about 7 weeks, maybe a little over 7 weeks was when I really started to get serious about the show. And I thought that, like I said, I think I was overconfident. I'm just trying to be real with myself, and I want to be real with you. Because these things happen, and I want you guys to know the real me. So that's why I'm putting it out there, so you guys know what I went through. So that way, if maybe someone else went through the same thing or is going through the same thing, and I don't want you guys to make those same mistakes, because the battle is really you versus you. And for me, it's not always about the placement. I mean, the ultimate goal, yes, is everyone's goal is to try to get, when you compete, is to try to get first place. You want to try to win the show. There's nothing wrong with that. Set your goals high and go after them. I'm a firm believer in that. However, if you don't get that, because you can't get first place every show, if you don't get that, don't be disappointed too much. Be maybe disappointed that you didn't reach the ultimate goal, but don't beat yourself up too much, because it takes a lot just to get on stage. It takes a lot to go through the process, to go through the journey, the grind, the blood, the sweat, the tears, the commitment. It takes a lot of courage to get up there, and not everybody can do that. It can be very stressful. You're manipulating your body. It's not the healthiest way to go when you compete. It is a situation where you are putting your body through some strain. You're trying to take your body to body fat levels that are super low, meaning possibly down into the 5 to 4% range. And it's really hard to do that. And your body does not want to do that, because it's not comfortable there. It's not its normal state. So your body wants to stay in a normal state, so it's going to fight you. In the past, I usually am very lean when I start a prep. This particular prep, I was not. And then I gave myself a shorter window to try to get my body fat percentage there. And when I got on stage and I saw the pictures, it showed like my conditioning was not on point. It's probably the worst that I've looked. Not even probably. It was the worst that I've looked in any show. Even like way back my very first show. And I was very disappointed in myself, because like I said, I compete against myself. And I felt like I digressed. Because each show, and anything you do in life when it comes to goals, you want to be moving forward. You always want to do better than you did last time, and that's how I look at my shows. Like each show I want to improve, and this show I really felt like I went backwards, and that was a struggle for me. It took me some days to get out of that mindset, to really shake that mindset of disappointment. I was really disappointed in myself, and the one thing is, you can't blame anybody but you. I'll never be the one to like point fingers at this person, that person, and all of that. And I do compete in NPC, so they don't drug test. So someone could be taking enhancements and things of that sort. I don't care about that. What I care about is competing against myself first and doing better each show. And then from there, make more adjustments. Depending on where I place, look at the people that placed in front of me. And you also have to remember that these competitions are subjective. Your physique is left up to the judge's discretion. It's not like you're boxing, you're in a boxing match. So you train to fight this person, you study their moves, you study their tactics, you study their weaknesses, their strengths, and then you go in and try to combat that. And then you use your strengths and weakness, or not weaknesses, but you use your strengths to try to defeat that individual. So when you get in the ring, it's you versus them. And yeah, it could come down to a decision, but most of the time, you're trying to win out. You're trying to be accurate with your punches and things of that sort. But anyway, when you're competing on the stage as a bodybuilder or men's physique or bikini or figure or fitness, whatever, it's up to the judges on what they see. Obviously you need to bring a good package and try to meet the criteria of what they're looking for, meaning for men's physique, they're looking for an aesthetic build with a V taper, nice full shoulders, chest, back, definition, conditioning, abs. All of those things are super important with any of these categories. And if your conditioning is not on point, you could be the biggest guy, but if your conditioning is not on point, you're not going to do very well. So I wanted to put this out because, like I said, I wanted to keep it real with you guys. I wanted you guys to know what happened, because I really didn't, like I said, I didn't post anything. For those that follow me in both, you don't know, like, I didn't put anything out there. I didn't even put like where I placed or anything. And it's just because I was so disappointed in myself that, I was like, I'm not proud about that. But if I'm going to keep it real, I need to let people know what happened. I need to not be afraid to show those pictures, because it can happen, and it can happen to anyone. And because of that, I want to make sure I reach out, because there could be someone that went through a similar struggle. And I will tell you, competing, there can be a struggle post-show because of the visual image. You train 6 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever, 16 weeks, and you watch your body change. You get very lean, you get very defined and cut and all of that. Veins are out, whatever, vascular. And then after the show, sometimes, after you fill back in the water, the carbs and all of that, then your body starts to change. And it doesn't look as good as when you were competing, maybe, for some. And some people really struggle with that. It's a mental game that is being played, because you get so caught up in the visual, on what you see on the mirror, what you see on pictures, and some people can't handle it, and maybe they may not compete again, or they don't know what to do with the struggle. And hopefully this will help you. Just remember that, allow your body to get back to that normal state. Unless you're doing like back-to-back shows, let your body get back to that, and then you can get back on to a normal eating plan. Meaning, if you're typically low carbs or whatever plan that you're doing, whatever your lifestyle is, then get back to your normal lifestyle. And eventually things will balance themselves out. And then don't get caught up on the scale. Don't get caught up on, studying yourself every day. That, as a competitor, you're always like looking in the mirror, and you're always looking at areas that are deficient or weak areas. And, just remember that you've put in a lot of work to get to where you are, and you look good. If you didn't look good, you wouldn't be able to stand up there and do what you do. So be proud about that, and be thankful about that before you start bashing yourself, for whatever reason. And then if you want to do it again, do it again. Get back on stage. Learn all you can. Study up. Go to shows. For those that have never, if you're considering competing and you want to see what it's like, go to a show. Ask questions. Talk to other competitors, and see what they go through. So that way you have a better understanding, and you get different sides. Don't just trust one person that's competed, your buddy, because that's just one experience. And maybe his experience or her experience was just amazing. Everything fell in line. Everything was perfect. But you're going to get those people, some that struggle. Some may pull out from a show because maybe they felt like they weren't ready. My friend Marlon, we were supposed to compete at the Cutler together. He had to pull out because he didn't have enough time to get all of the prep in that he needed to be stage ready. And that's a hard thing, to pull yourself out. I commended him for that. I respected him for that, because it's not easy when, as a competitor, to know that you're not going to be ready, because you always want to feel like, I can do it. And that's how I felt. I was like, 7 weeks, I can do this, you know what I mean? But I think mentally, I wasn't as locked in as I should have been, as for previous, and I took it for granted, because I was like, well, I've been pretty successful in the past. I know this game, I got this, and I didn't have it. You know what I mean? So I hope this reaches you guys in good spirits and good health. It's a short video. Like I said, I'll put some clips in of the show, but there's not going to be any workout footage or anything like that. I am in Sunnyside, Florida, and I'm very thankful for that. I'm here for work. But I wanted to put this video out just in hopes that someone could get something out of it. And whatever your goals are, get your goals. Don't quit. You know, keep striving forward. Remember that. You know, I've said it in numerous videos. Any progress is progress, and it's well worth it. You know, but you have to keep fighting. You know, each day is a new challenge. And there's going to be days where you don't feel like getting up, you don't feel like doing it. And it's not just in fitness. You know, it rolls over into anything you do, whether it's school, business, you know, whatever's going on in your life. You know, it's still the same. You got to get up. You got to attack those things to keep getting closer, you know, to the end result. And, you know, I wish you guys nothing but the best for whatever your successes are. And be thankful. Take a minute sometimes to take a step back and remember where you came from. Remember why you got started. And appreciate, you know, what you've gone through. Whether it be good or bad, you can learn from the bad as well. Appreciate what you've gone through, because if it wasn't for that, you may not be where you're at. So thank you so much for all those that do watch these videos, for all those that have subscribed. And just know that it's all about just one person. If I can affect one person's life for the positive, then that makes these videos well worth it. This is unedited, no cuts. And thank you. Thank you so much. God bless you, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Hopefully it'll be maybe some workout footage, or I don't really have any big events coming up. I will tell you that real quick. Originally, I wasn't supposed to compete until later in the year, but because of my disappointments, I changed plans. I'm going to try to compete in July, just because I need to redeem myself for me. Okay, and that's another thing. Compete for you. You know, whatever those goals are, do it for you. You versus you first, and then the rest will fall in place. All right, so God bless. I don't want to make this too long. Peace and hair grease, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Much love. Peace.